We should try and see if we can get that to go into the top 40 or something.
Makes me feel like we're back in the 80s, man. Like the next coming up is some Bon Jovi and some Poison.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Joel? Welcome in. All right. So, welcome in this week. We are going to start with Bo giving us an update on some men's soccer. So, what do you got for us, Bo?
I made a real sweet PowerPoint to share, but I've got a brand new laptop and we're having technical difficulties on getting it on the screen. So I'm just going to have to narrate this to you verbally. My apologies. Try to get this fixed for next time. Next time we're going to do England. Today I've got France. Okay, so we did Spain, the second one, and then the first one we did Argentina. So I've got this called the French national football team. It's basically Mbappe and crew. As Chad's going to talk to you about some Mbappe plays later today, but he is the hero of the French national team. But it's a little bit weird because the number 2 guy, Ousmane Dembele, won the Ballon d'Or contest, as the best soccer player in the world a few weeks ago. I was seeing online that he showed up at some bar or something in Paris, and like thousands of people were trying to get autographs, and it was just this giant freaking commotion. It looked like, paparazzi on high alert. But it's kind of weird that Mbappe has not won the Ballon d'Or and Ousmane has. But Mbappe is considered by many to be the best soccer player in the world, but he's never won that award. Okay, and then Ousmane won it a few weeks ago. Mbappe currently plays for Real Madrid. It was kind of big news when he moved to Real Madrid about a year ago from Paris Saint-Germain. Dembele plays for Paris Saint-Germain. And they came in second place, I believe, this past summer in the Club World Cup. I was kind of surprised that Chelsea ended up beating them, but they finished second. There is a 2016 Bundesliga sticker, which seems to me to be the favorite of the Dembele rookie cards. I actually bought one in August for $30, and it shipped from France. It took like a month to get here. And now they're selling for about $60, $70. There's a bunch of other like European soccer cards. There's a 2016 Panini WCCF. There's several versions of that card. The problem that I think you'll find is of everybody I'm talking about today besides Mbappe, most of the cards are going to involve international shipping. I did get a Ousmane Dembele last night on ComC. The price was good. I don't know how you feel about ComC, but it was cheap, and there was no, $20 shipping from Germany or something like that. The Mbappe stuff is a lot easier to find. He has the 2008. It's kind of weird. The 2018 World Cup cards are considered rookies, but he's in the 2017 Topps Chrome. So I think in his club kit, you want the 2017. There's the Topps Chrome Future Stars, and there's the Topps Chrome Champions League. There is a 2018 World Cup sticker. I have all 3 of those on the base ones as PSA 10s. I've been buying them for the past couple years. I'm going to move them all next June probably. But I have like 5 or 6 PSA 10 Mbappe rookies right now. You might notice with soccer stuff that the big superstars, their autographs are pretty expensive, a lot more expensive than most of your American stars. It seemed like I was looking at Mbappe autos on eBay, and like $500 was one of the cheapest ones I could find. And, there's some that if you get numbered ones that are older, they're in the thousands. Where I found Ousmane Dembele for about $300. And then one thing that I've noticed is Mbappe is definitely the hero of the French team. Dembele's, most of his great stats have come out of playing club soccer. Most of his goals and his players of the game. He did not get the Ballon d'Or award for playing on the French team. He got it for his club team. His stats when he's played for the French team have not been that impressive. And I think that he missed a lot of the last World Cup in 22 from being hurt. He didn't play much at all. They made it to the championship game and Argentina beat them, where in 2018, France won the World Cup. They're ranked number 2 in the world right now, after Spain. There are some prospects. There are 5 guys that you might want to keep an eye out for. I've noticed that prices on these guys are, up. You can get like a $10 card, or you can get like a $400 or $500 card. But we've got El Junior Krupe. He's a forward for Bournemouth. He's really, really young. I think he's like 18, 19 years old. He's not getting a lot of playing time, but the experts claim that he's the French's best young prospect. There's Warren Zaire-Emery. He's a midfielder for Paris Saint-Germain. Michael Olise, he's a midfielder or a winger for Bayern. And then we got 2 more guys. Bradley Barcola, he's a left winger for Paris Saint-Germain. And I noticed he has scored some goals for the French team. Of the 5 prospects that I have listed, I think he has the best stats, and that's Bradley Barcola. And the last guy that I have is Desiree Doue, Doue. He's a midfielder for Paris Saint-Germain. But like I said, most of these guys, you're going to have a hard time buying these without paying for international shipping. I don't want to get political on here, but there are tariff things happening now whenever you buy cards from overseas. I had an order from Japan. I bought the 10-pack of the Pokemon McDonald's cards, and they got sent back to Japan before they got to me, and it was something to do with tariffs that the seller did not put the proper paperwork in or whatever, and it came all the way to the States, and then it got sent back, and I just decided to get a refund because it was already like 6 weeks into the process. So some of these guys might be a pain in the rear if you're dealing with international shipping. I don't know if it's better in some countries than others. I had a order from China come in a couple weeks ago, and there were no tariffs at all. But I think it's hit or miss. But now on eBay, it warns you whenever you're trying to buy international stuff that there will be a tariff involved in some way, shape, or form. So that's why I bought some of the stuff on ComC. There was a little bit of this stuff on ComC. I can write these names down for Chad, and he can put it in the video description because, I don't have any – the visual did not work out today for me to show you. So
otherwise, if you go up in the top right where it says comments, you can put it in the comments for the viewers too.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that right now, and then I'll email it to you too, and you can put it in the item description.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that's all I've got on France. They're very likely to be one of the teams at the end. They're definitely one of the best teams in the world. Mbappe's been killing it in club ball the past few months. So I would, if you were going to gamble on the World Cup, they're one of the top 5 favorites for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow a ton of soccer, but I do enough soccer that I've made some pretty good money on some plays. Hey, Mark, welcome in. And from my 1,000-foot view of soccer, the 3 best players in soccer are Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, and Erling Haaland. At least from a card standpoint,
And
those
Messi.
are the 3. And Messi. Messi and Ronaldo are all-time greats. That goes without saying. But so those are really your I guess, 5 cards that you can not really get hurt on much. Some of these other guys you mentioned, I got to be honest, I've never heard of them.
Yeah. I mean, you might be shipping these internationally if you were to, my plan is just to take these in like June 1st, list them. And then when the games start up, people are going to get interested. And then, I'm probably not going to grade any of these and just get some small profits off of.
Yeah. So that'll get me into my, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it Dr. Crack's rant or what you want to call it about, but some topic discussions that we're going to do before I do my plays this week. A lot of people, I'm having a hard time keeping up with everybody messaging me this last week. I really appreciate all you guys reaching out to me to get my opinions and thoughts. The Discord is going real well. There's 2 of them there, the Cardboard Rockstars and then the Sports Card Community one. Both excellent. And I'm finding myself, before I go to bed, checking it. And when I wake up, checking it. I don't get on it much during the day when I'm at work, but those Discords have been great. And I don't know if it's because I'm in the Discords that my instant messaging has increased. But I honestly don't think I can remember a week where I had as many people reaching out to me instant message as I have this week, asking opinions and what to do and the State of the Union. And I said, well, watch the show and I'll give you all my opinions. So a couple of things that we're going to start with. One, PSA raising their grading fees. They did this not because of greed, which a lot of people are saying. It's not born from greed. It's born from the fact that they're getting overrun. They can't keep up. There's a backlog, which is why they continue to stretch out the return times. They're grading 1.5 to 1.7 million cards per month, and they can't keep up. So they have to do something to slow the intake down. So the only natural thing that they can do is to raise prices. So where everybody's saying, well, they haven't had a special in forever, they're not going to. They don't need to run $14.95 specials because they have more business than they can possibly handle now. And it was at $20 a card. Now it's 22 or 25 or 27, depending upon what levels and if you're a member or not. A lot of people discussing both in the Discord and via Instant Messenger this week with GameStop. I've tried GameStop on 2 occasions because I figure I can't talk intelligently about something if I haven't tried it or did it myself. And since I always tell you guys I'm not a professional, I just share my experiences with you. That's what I'm going to do with GameStop. So there are a lot of positives. There are a few negatives, and it's for whatever you guys want to do for yourselves. To each their own, so to speak. But the GameStop, some of the advantages of GameStop is I haven't seen with the raising of prices now if it's going to continue to be quicker, but it was quicker than doing it on your own in bulk. As all of you know, I seem to talk about this a lot, but I do a bulk submission every Wednesday, and I have for, I don't know, 7 years now, maybe. So I've got a lot of experience with PSA and bulk submissions and turnaround times and all that kind of stuff. So I'm speaking with a lot of experience here. I've gotten it to where there's a few tips and tricks that you can do that will speed up your orders. Tip number 1, when you're submitting on your own, don't include TCG with sports cards. It will make your order come to a crawling stop. The reason why is graders that do TCG do not do sports cards. Graders that do sports cards do not do TCG. So when you have a split order, they have to stop, bring in another grader, have them do it, then stop, go back to the other grader. Then when it goes to Q&A, to the quality assurance, then the next step, it's two different people that are reviewing it. So I've learned that anytime that I'm submitting TCG cards, I do it in a separate submission from the bulk submission. Tip number 2, believe it or not, it will go faster if you separate your orders into sports. Multi-sport orders do go a little slower than one sport by itself. So what I'm saying is separate your basketball from your football, from your soccer, from your baseball. It does go a tad quicker from my experience when it's all one sport, because when they check the cards in and they see that it is all one sport, they have specific graders for specific cards, for specific years, for specific sports. And when they can get a specific person on that, it goes through the system quicker. Third tip, when you're submitting, I always package multiple submissions together in one package. And I always include, even if it's only one card, I will always include one card at a higher level service. By doing that, it requires PSA to check the card in faster because it's a higher level service. They can't leave the rest of your cards just sitting on a counter. They'll get lost. So when they open that box for your submission for the higher level service, all of your other cards will get checked in quicker. If they get checked in quicker, they go through quicker because PSA's clock starts when they get checked in, not when they arrive, not when you fill out your submission form. The counter, the 65 days starts once they are checked into the process, once they're in research and development. So if you can include a faster order item, they will get checked in quicker, they will get back quicker. So I've been having a few discussions with a few of my friends that do GameStop, stating that it is much quicker. My turnaround times doing bulk, with the way I'm telling you with the 3 tips that I just gave you, my turnaround times are averaging about 10 weeks. From the time that I mail it to the time I get it back, it's 10 to 11 weeks. So I am way faster right now than what they are saying for the average. And everybody is saying, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying, well, it's because you submit so much, you're getting special preferential treatment because you submit so many cards and they know who you are. That is not true. They don't care who I am. And PSA is so big, other than 1 or 2 employees, they probably have no idea who I am. I'm insignificant in the world of PSA. But those 3 tips will help you go quicker with your bulk submissions. Mark is saying he was holding 100 plus cards for January special. It never came, and it's only been going up. Yeah, that's a bummer. Then still, so let's here we'll put Mark's comments. You still doing the bulk subs or paying the extra for the 45-day sub? No, I'm still doing the bulk submissions. As I just mentioned in my tips, Mark, I always include one higher level service card. I usually try and do at least one card out of my PC usually. And I try to do it at a service level that is 30 days or less. I like to do the 15-day one if I can, if I have something that fits into that, because it forces them to get all the cards opened up quicker. And by doing that, my turnaround times are within a week or 2 of what they are at GameStop. The advantage of doing it on your own versus the disadvantage, you can't accept PSA offers when you do a GameStop submission. They have to come back to the GameStop store. You can't send them straight to auction, so you can't get them up a week quicker because they have to come back to GameStop. The advantage is if you buy the GameStop subscription, which is like $5 a month, you do it in bulk and you do it a couple of times a month, you're basically getting it free because they'll do free shipping. So essentially you're getting your $5 GameStop membership for free when you do enough of the shipping. So that's a plus. It is only $5 to $8 shipping, no matter how many cards. So the more cards you do through GameStop, it's literally pennies on the per card for shipping, versus when I send my submissions in, I'm typically adding $2 to $3 per card for shipping.
And
so you are, so it is a couple dollars. You're saving a couple of dollars in shipping. You might be saving, 1 to 3 weeks in turnaround times, but you're giving up the ability to accept PSA offers right away and to be able to send it to eBay auctions quicker and get your money back faster. So use that for whatever works best for you. I'm going to continue submitting on my own versus doing the GameStop way of doing it. Like I said, it's only been about a 2-week difference from when the 2 experiments I sent in to GameStop, I sent in on Wednesdays, the same time I sent my order in, and the GameStop one, the first one, the GameStop one came back 7 days sooner, and the second one came back 13 days sooner. But I'm within 2 weeks of GameStop time by specializing, making the orders smaller. Tip number four, when submitting to PSA, when I do my bulk submissions, I keep it to 30 cards or less. Like for today, for example, the submission that's going in today, it's a 96 card order. I broke it up into 3 different orders. They will move quicker when there are less cards per order. For whatever reason, if you keep the orders a little bit smaller, I think it's because they'll allow the newer graders to do the smaller orders and they just blow through them. So if you can keep them sport specific within a few years of one another in terms of the years of the cards, and keep them in a 30 or less pack, and then include, so there's 96, 3 different orders going in 96 cards, and then there's one going in at the 14-day level. I am getting a LeBron refractor out of my personal collection slabbed up. I don't care about the grade on it. I do, but I don't. Obviously, the higher the grade, the better. But that card's going in because I want to get it slabbed for long term. It's a PC card. It's not going anywhere, but it's going to make the other cards get into the system quicker. So those are my tips and tricks for PSA. Talking about GameStop, and that is a little bit quicker if that's for you. Do whatever works best for you guys. I would recommend trying it both ways.
Don't you think that if you only have a handful of cards, like I had 10 Pokemon cards that I needed to get graded, and because I didn't have enough for the bulk play, that's one of the better times to go with GameStop, because you don't have to have 20.
Yeah,
so the same price.
Yep. So I recently submitted, with this submission that's going out today, I have 3 Pokemon cards to get graded. I'm paying the $27.99 per card for 3 cards to have it its own submission, so it doesn't slow down my sports cards.
Mm-hmm. But if you did those,
paying an extra $8 a card, I could have done the GameStop with those 3 cards, but it all goes in the same submission for me. So
Yeah. And you're right about the more valuable card being included. Like I put in my Shador Sanders RPS auto separately with an order this summer, and it took 9 weeks to get. The Sanders one took about 3 weeks, but then it took 9 weeks to get everything else back. It was great.
yeah, so the slowest stuff at PSA right now are bulk orders that are mixed sports and TCG. They're large orders that have just an array of things in a bulk. Those are the orders that are going beyond their designated time frame, and it's frustrating because sometimes it's taking 3 weeks just to get the cards checked in, and then the clock starts, and then you got 65 or 75 days on top of that, and it can be 4 months. So those are my tips and tricks for PSA. They work real well. If you want to do the GameStop, there's a lot of people in our Discord that are using GameStop, and they're very, very happy with it. So again, try it, do whatever works best for you, and let us know. Let us know.
Yeah,
But good luck with your submissions.
I have 2 GameStops within a 20-minute drive from me, and the one that's close, it's terrible. I mean, I've had an order sit there for 3 weeks before they even sent it off. Like stuff that I was planning on selling at the National, I couldn't bring it to the National because they never sent it off. But then there's another store about a 20-minute drive, and they send off every Monday, or if there's 20 cards, they'll make extras sending. So they're really good. If you have more than one around you, you might want to find out how often do you send and pick the one that that seems more professional to you.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough. I've got a GameStop that's literally right across the road from my workplace. I could walk over there if I wanted to. It's kind of diagonal off of the intersection of where I'm at. But there's so much business at that GameStop with cards.
Yeah.
They send out. So talking to the manager, they send out orders 3 to 5 times a week.
Wow.
That's how many cards are coming in and going out of that store. So
if you get the professional membership too, they give you some decent kickbacks. Like
yeah.
I wanted to get the college football video game because I'm a college. I love that NCAA 26. That's the coolest video game ever as far as I'm concerned. And I spent so much money on grading at GameStop that it was free. I had all the store credit from all the orders that they did for me that it was a free game. It was like, well, all right, $60. Didn't pay a penny for it.
Yeah, that's someone in our Discord was saying they just got $50 off because of their rewards. So
make sure if you're going to use GameStop, make sure you get the pro membership. It's well worth it.
Yeah, and with PSA, I feel the membership is worth it there too because it's essentially free because you get the same amount of cost for the membership you get in credits. Mm-hmm. Usually Fanatics collect credits or something of that nature. So it'll allow you to scratch your itch with getting into a break or something like that using your
if you killed your PSA membership, what would they do with everything you have in the vault? Do you have to have that membership to use the vault?
No, you don't have to have a membership. From what I understand, you can have a PSA vault without a PSA membership.
Okay. I was just kind of curious about that.
So, all right. So before I get into my plays now, the other things I get a lot of people talking about is with the plays, the landscape is changing. It's taking longer to get cards back. Typically this time of year, I'm still waiting for basketball cards to come back and submitting basketball cards and buying basketball cards. And with the turnaround times this year, I've only got a couple of submissions of basketball cards in, and I had to change my strategy. So I'm officially done with basketball for now. However, so I'm switching to baseball, which is today's topic. Is most of the cards that you're gonna see on today's plays of the day are baseball related. And the reason being is right now, even if you have a bad experience and it takes 4 months at PSA, if you buy the cards in October, even if you buy them in November, you got December, January, February, March. Even if it takes 4 months to get them back, you're still getting your baseball plays back. If you buy and submit before Thanksgiving, you will get them back in spring training. Perfect time to get rid of your baseball. If you get them back sooner, great. If you don't, worst case scenario, you're getting them back before the start of the season, which is why I am now switching to baseball plays for a lot of this. The reason I'm putting basketball on hold is I bought a lot of basketball this summer, and those plays are at PSA coming back. However, basketball, you have until pretty much May before the playoffs start, or late April when the playoffs start. So I believe that you can wait and buy the mid-season lull of basketball between now and the end of the year. There are a lot of really good basketball plays to be made because the cards get so cheap. And you can buy them, send them off for grading, and get them back by the end of April and have them at perfect time for playoffs, for the playoff push. So it's perfect timing. So just for those that are wondering what I'm doing and what my new plan of attack is, right now, baseball, so that it's back by February, March, then back to basketball. So I get it back in that March, April window. And then football will be buying heavy in February through May to get them back in time for the national. That's the play. However, I'm also switching up and doing a new play, not raw to grade play. I've been using ComC to flip a lot more. You can buy cards on ComC, specifically low numbered, serial numbered parallels and autographs. I buy them. I just put them in my CAC account or vault, and then I wait 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. And when I feel like the cards are going up or there's a selling marker, I've been flipping. The returns aren't as high as when you do a raw to grade. So instead of dealing in a 50 to 100% return on your investment with the raw to the grade, you're dealing in little 10 and 15 and 20% wins after fees. But every little bit adds up when you start doing it in bulk. I've also been using Auction of Champions to do the same thing, as well as Fanatics Collect, buying it, putting it in a vault, and then flipping it a few months down the road. So those are additional plays that you can make and additional sites that you can use to try and make some money on. All right, so let's get into some plays of the week. I know that's nobody wants to hear us talk, Bo. They really just want to see how they can make money. That's what they're really here for. So let's give them what they want. Let's see. I'm not sure which goes top to bottom, so not sure which the first one's going to be. All right. So we're going to start with a basketball play. As I mentioned, there's going to be 15 baseball plays, 3 basketball plays, and 2 soccer plays for you guys this week to make money on. The basketball play. Can't have a basketball play right now without having Victor Wembanyama. His stuff is going to get hot, I think, with him being healthy. People kind of forget just how good he is or was. And looks like he's put a little bit of muscle on. Looking at the preseason here, it's looking like he's got a little bit of muscle. And he's going to – I think his stuff is going to shoot up quickly here as the season starts.
I heard a guy on I hate to interrupt you, but I heard a guy on ESPN the other day talking about what he looks like in camp. And he said that because he worked the whole summer on getting better. Said he looks like a hybrid of the best of Shaquille O'Neal and Kevin Garnett put together.
Yeah, I would agree. Looking at his body frame, he had a nice offseason. And I think he's going to do some great things here early in the season. If he can stay healthy, I think his cards are going to shoot up and shoot up quickly, whether it's raw to grade or buying already graded. I think it's going to be kind of hard to go wrong with Victor Wembanyama cards. But the one I picked out, the play that I like the best right now for Victor Wembanyama is his 2023 Prism card number 136. It is his base silver ice prism. Most recent sale, as you can see, was $80 on October 2nd. So very recently, there have been 5 sales in the last 30 days, so about one per week. The 30-day average is $126. As you can see, his stuff is still coming down. That last sale took a slight little dip upwards. I think you're going to start to see his stuff, even his raw stuff, is going to start climbing here as the season is starting. So you don't have a lot of time if you want to do raw to grade with Victor. Make a quick decision this week or next week, buy some raw stuff and get it sent off. Doesn't matter when it comes back, his stuff, as long as he stays healthy, Victor is going to sell good all season long. A PSA 9 of this card, most recent sale was $156. And a PSA 10 is $370. So you're going to, even if you got to pay up around that $100 mark for a good one because the prices are going back up, you're going to be just fine. At a PSA 9, you aren't going to lose any money because it's, you've got the margin there. So that is the Victor Wembanyama play. All right. Hey, Hawaii, welcome in, buddy. Thanks for joining us. We're getting to the meat and the potatoes here for you, some plays that you can make money on. All right. Here is the soccer play that we talked about. So this is the 2017 Topps Chrome UEFA Champions League card number 41. There is a silver. There are parallels of this. This is the base. This is by many considered his rookie card, as you heard Bo talk about. It's a little goofy because he has 2018 World Cup rookie cards as well. But this is card number 41. This is his rookie. $30 is the last sale, as you can see here. 3 cards in the last 30 days, so there have not been a lot of sales, about one every 10 days. The 30-day average is $22, so the 30-day average is actually up a little bit right now. This card here, PSA 9, most recent sale was $84. So you're profiting a little bit on a 9, which makes this play a good play. Anytime you can make money on a 9, that's a good play. And a PSA 10 is $180. I do anticipate that these cards will continue to climb. So I think that you are good to go on the Mbappe play. And I just deleted one I don't know what I deleted. I deleted one that I'm going to be missing one of my plays here. I just accidentally deleted something. So, all right, moving on. We'll find out when we get to the end which one I missed. We'll do a verbal then. All right. Next up is the other basketball card here. We've got Tyrese Halliburton. He is out this whole entire year. His stuff had gotten really hot, and now it's really cold. And I like to buy star players like this when they're down. You make money on the buy side when you can buy this cheap. Look at this. His Optic Hollow, one of his better cards, most recent $4. How can you go wrong buying an Optic Hollow Tyrese Halliburton? If you don't even want to grade this, buy 8, 10, 15, 20 of these at $4 a piece. And as soon as he comes back next year, they're going to be 10, 15 bucks a piece. You can double, triple your money without ever having to grade it. This is so stinking cheap for an optic hollow for a star. I just had to share this one with you guys. 3 sales in the last 30 days, so about one every 10 days. The 30-day average is $6.50. But just cheap. The card is cheap. I can't say enough how cheap this card is. When you look at a PSA 9, most recent sale is $30. So $25 to grade it, you're about breaking even on a PSA 9. A PSA 10, even with him being hurt and these cards dropping as far as they've dropped, the PSA 10s are still selling for $100. So you can still double your money on a PSA 10 or hoard as many of these at $4 and $5 a piece as you can, and don't grade them, just sit on them. They'll double or triple your money just sitting on them. That's way too cheap for a player of his stature. All right, next up. This should be our first baseball play. All right, here we go. This is not an auto. Most of these are autos that I'm going to be talking about today. I could not find a Connor Griffin auto that made sense from a raw to grade play with the floor that I need to assure me of not having to lose a bunch of money if I come back with a 9. So you are not going to see any autos for Connor Griffin. You're going to see 2 different refractors is what you're going to see. So this one here is the 2024 Bowman Draft Chrome Sky Blue Refractor. It's his first. It's a Bowman first non-auto in a colored parallel. As you can see in the last 30 days, this card is jumping around. The most recent sale is $43.50. 16 times this card is sold in the last 30 days. So it's selling about one every other day. So it's a very easy card to find. PSA 9 is $75. So you're going to break even on a 9. A PSA 10 is $173. So you're going to 3x your money. And it's got a 41% gem rate. But it's a fairly low pop. Only 54 of these cards have been submitted to PSA so far. So there's 22 PSA 10s. But that makes this card attractive. He is one of the prospects that I am very high on. So I like Connor Griffin. I just couldn't find an auto worth suggesting to you guys. All right, let's go to the next one. Next one is the second Connor Griffin card. All right, so this is his regular Bowman Draft Chrome base refractor. I say base because it's not a numbered refractor. It's just a refractor. It's still his first Bowman. This card, last sale is $41, and it's sold, get this, in the last 30 days, this card has sold 156 times. Let that sink in, guys. That's how popular this card is. 156 sales in the last 30 days. The last sale was $41, and the 30-day average is $39. So it stayed really consistently right around $40 for the last 30 days. And with 150 of them, that's what, 5 a day that's selling on eBay. So this card is the easiest card of anything that I've done here today. This is the easiest card to play, easiest play to make. So when you look at the numbers, $75 again is a PSA 9. So once again, you're breaking even on a 9. A PSA 10 is $200. So you're going to triple your money again, a little better than tripling your money on a PSA 10. This blows my mind. This card sold 156 times in the last 30 days. You can triple your money from a raw to a PSA 10. It's got a 60% gem rate. I always do my plays a few days ahead of time. I've bought 9 of these in the last 48 hours. None of them are in hand yet, but I bought 9. I'm trying to get 20 of them. I'm going to try and make a 20 card play, all of the same card, because at a 60% gem rate, when I can triple my money, that's like taking a bottle from a baby. That's pretty easy to do. So that is a really nice play for anybody that wants to make some money on Connor Griffin. All right, next up. Well, how did that sneak back in there? See, I told you I deleted the wrong card there. And somewhere we're going to have a missing card here on my plays, but that's all right. All right, next up, Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford is a player that I've liked now for a while. I have a couple of his autos already in a 10. I've got a speckle, I've got a blue, I've got a base, I got a green, and I got a purple. All in 10s. Crawford is a player I expect at some point in time next year that he will get called up. I don't know if he's going to break camp with the team next year, but I expect between now and next year at this time, Crawford's going to make the big league club, which is why I am starting to stock up on his cards now. So as you can see here, this is his refractor auto. A little more desirable, numbered to $4.99, $96 in raw condition just a couple of days ago. There have been 10 sales in the last 30 days, so it's not too terribly hard to find, about one sale every 3 days. The 30-day average is $105, so right around that $95 to $105, $110 range. You can get one of these. I fully expect all of these baseball cards to dip in the next 30 days. So you might want to be a little patient on some of these plays and wait a few weeks or a few days or even a month to see if you think they've hit bottom or not. But the numbers I'm giving you allow you to make money even if you don't wait for them. So anyways, PSA 9, last PSA 9 was a few days ago, sold for $118. So you might be out $5 or $10 of your grading fees or whatever after fees. If you pay $95, you might break even. If you pay $105, you might be out $10 or something of that nature. So again, it's a low enough floor, low enough risk that I can recommend this play. A PSA 10 right now is selling for $255. That $255, however, is down almost 20% from July. So his cards are starting to slide into this fall dip that we always talk about. Do not get scared at the fact this $255 might even get below $200 by the time spring rolls around. That's okay. You still have margin at $200, but I expect that this card, either in spring training, to be close to $300 or for sure over $300 once he gets called up to the big club next year. So Justin Crawford, Bowman first refractor. All right. Next up, we got Tommy Troy. So this screen looks a little bit different because there aren't any sales of this card within the last 30 days. So I just wanted to show you that. So I went out 365 days, and even on 365 days, there have only been 2 sales of this card. So it's not an easy card to find. Tommy Troy, in and of himself, is a prospect that I'm high on for next year. I don't know if he'll get called up next year, but it's going to be close. I think he might, especially if he takes another leap like he did this year. He had a very solid year. Raw, as you can see, $41 for this green, but fill in the blanks, guys, if you want to do the refractor to $4.99, the blue to $150, the HTA choice. His stuff is cheap enough right now that you should be fine on anything you pick. I picked the green one because it shows the biggest profit margins right now. When you do a PSA 9, $75, so you break even on a PSA 9, but a PSA 10, $185, so you can, pretty much triple your money. And that's right now coming into the fall season. So I really like this play for spring. I think that Tommy Troy is a player that's going to go up tremendously as spring rolls around. So I'm very high on Tommy Troy. Got a question over in IG. Would you stick raw to grade or potentially snipe some 10s with the dip? It's a great question. I'm doing both. So anytime any of these players that I'm recommending them because they're players that I feel confident that they're going to have a good market come spring, right? These are players that all of these cards are going to be higher in March than they are right now today. That's why I'm picking these cards. However, if you see these cards in the next 30 to 45 to 60 days in a PSA 10 already, and you can get that dip, you can buy it at an auction, you can find somebody that's just looking to unload because they need money for Christmas, whatever the case may be, absolutely smack the buy it now and take the 10. There'll be profit margins come spring. So great question, and the answer is do both. The raw to grade gives you more margin than the PSA 10 already graded will give you. However, it gives you, by buying it a 10, you're guaranteeing yourself a 10. So that is the way I would look at it. All right, next up, Chase DeLauder. Big prospect, has a lot of potential. Up and down year this year. I just think he's too good to stay down for too long. I think he has a legit chance at breaking camp with the team next year. If not, I'd be surprised if he didn't make the big league roster by June 1st of next year. He's got a big bat, and they could use him in the lineup. So this card is $55. This is his base first auto. $55 is a great price range to buy raw autos in. It's a 3-year-old card, so that's why the prices are down a little bit. I love buying 2, 3, 4-year-old Bowman Draft autos because it takes about that long for a player to hit the majors with a normal trajectory. So I really like this card in this play. It all works together. $55, 30-day average is 50, 9 sales in the last 30 days, so about 1 every 3 days. So there's still plenty to choose from, even though it's a 3-year-old card. PSA 9, most recent sale, $85. So break even on a PSA 9. Again, those are the types of plays I'm looking for. PSA 10 is $150. So you're going to 2 to 3x your money, depending upon what you have to pay for it. For sure, a doubling of your money on a PSA 10, and maybe more if his stuff goes as high as I think. This card has a potential, guys, of being a $300 to $350 card on call up. That's so even at that $150 mark, if we were just talking about, the question was buying PSA 10s. If I can get this card, if I can find this card in a dip at around 125, I'm smacking it. I'd love to buy this card at $125 and sit on it till spring. This card could easily double that 125 to 250 to 350 upon call up next spring. All right, let's go on to another card. Am I boring you, Bo, or are you liking these?
Oh, I'm loving it. I've been wanting to buy some baseball, so I'm taking notes, man.
All right. Harry Ford, another player I fully expect to make the big league roster next year. Here's a 2021 Bowman draft first auto. This is the base first auto. Again, great price point here. Last sale, $29. The 30-day average is 47. So as you can see for Harry Ford, his stuff is already starting to the fall dip that we talk about. 3 sales in the last 30 days. So I don't know how much lower, if at all, it's going to get than $29. If you can snag this in that $25 to $35 range, I would smack it and buy it. PSA 9, $76. So you're actually profiting about $20 on a PSA 9. And a PSA 10 is still holding strong at $229. And this card the gem rate of this card is 68%. I think I've failed to tell you the gem rate of the Chase DeLauder is 51%. Justin Crawford was 42%. Tommy Troy Green was 60%. I think I failed to go over that, so I circle back there for you guys. But these are some pretty high gem rates. 68% gem rate is crazy for a card that is now 4 years old. And when you can buy it around $30 to $40 with a 68% gem rate and get a $200 return, sign me up for that one. That might be the highest return of investment of any play we have on here today. Sometimes that $25 to $50 auto, those are the most fun because you can really get some big returns on them. All right. This guy, Samuel Basale. I made a lot of money on this guy this spring and this summer when he got called up. He got called up, he got sent back down. Make no qualms about it. This guy is going to break camp next year with the big league club, whether it's at catcher or at first base. His bat is too good to leave in the minors. They're going to figure out a way to get this guy up. He performed fairly well in his small sample size this year. Because he's such a highly rated prospect, it's one of those rare opportunities where you can buy the dip and profit again. If you already profited on this guy from my recommendations from last year, this summer, his stuff is dropping. Buy it, rinse and repeat. This is a rinse and repeat. I love repeat plays that you can make money on. So this is his refractor, numbered to $499, first auto. $150 is the most recent sale. And that's down 40% in the last 30 days. So you can see he's starting that downward trajectory. I like this $499 card. The ones I got last year, I got in that $110 to $120 range. I'm going to watch and see if the next sale of this card dips a little bit lower. I think $150 might be a hair high yet, but you can make money at $150. 3 sales in the last 30 days, so the cards are still selling. The 30-day average is $216 because it is a downward trajectory left to right for this guy, which is what I want to see. I want to see that go even further for bigger profits for all of us. Now, a PSA 9 is $230 still. So even if you pay $150, you're profiting about $50 after fees on a PSA 9, which is why I love this play. And a PSA 10 is $373, and that was a recent sale. And that too is down about 30%, but it's still $373. So you are still over 2xing your money after fees and shipping and sell fees. You're still 2xing your money on this card, and it's got a 66% gem rate. And I can tell you, last year I was 3 for 3 on this card with PSA 10s. So this is a card that you can still get gem 10s, and it's going to still have very good desirability. I think he's going to get a lot of hype coming into spring. All right. Walker Jenkins. Might be thinking, hey, I've heard of this guy before. He was all the talk in 2024. One of the most talked up players. Everybody thought that he had a chance to make the bigs right away, and it's taking more time than what everybody thought. But he put together a very solid campaign this year, and I think that you will see Jenkins make the club at some point next year. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet he does not break camp with him. But I think by midsummer next year, you will see Walker Jenkins finally make his big call up to the big leagues. Raw, $122, most recent sale. 30-day average is 158. So again, downward trajectory to the right. That's what we want to see this time of year. 8 sales in the last 30 days, so about 2 per week. So it's still selling often enough for you to get some opportunities. PSA 9 is 158, so it's about a break even right now on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is 255, so not quite a doubling of your money, but close to a 2x of your money. And he is a highly touted prospect. So when he does get the call, you will see his card spike nicely.
Yeah, I think I sold a 10 last summer for close to $400, I think.
Yeah, his stuff was hot, then it cooled off, and I expect it to get hot again next year. All right. Why am I showing you a screen with one dot? What the heck am I doing here? Another one of the most highly rated prospects in baseball coming into next year is Kevin McGonigal. He took huge leaps and bounds this year. He took his promotions and just kept every time he got a promotion, instead of slowing down, he got better and better. I think he's got a legit chance at making the club next year. His stuff has gotten over the summer. His stuff went absolutely ballistic. Stuff got way too high for me to touch or to want or to do anything. So what I'm looking for, I'm giving you this play because I'm looking for these cards to cool down, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. If they don't, I'm going to show you this play anyways. But you can see this the rise. Everything's going up and to the right, which is what you want to see when you have the cards. You want to see down and to the right when you're trying to buy into the cards. This card has not seen a dip yet, but I wanted to talk about it. So the most recent sale was just last week, $350 for his purple first auto refractor numbered to 250. Over the course of the last year, there have been 29 sales. But over the last 30 days, that sale of 350 has been the only sale. His cards kind of dried up a little bit because he's such a hot prospect. Everybody wanted him. He's one of the highest players that Aram talks about on Just Baseball. I think he's got him ranked number 1 or 2 on his Just Baseball top 100. So Aram's also very high on this guy, which is why I wanted to give you a couple of options. So I'm going to have 3 plays of Kevin McGonigal. This is his purple at 350. you're taking some risk because you're going to lose money a little bit on a PSA 9, which is why I want to see this card dip before you buy into it. I'm sorry, the $4.99 is going to dip. This card at $3.50, the reason I put this one down now that I'm looking at my notes is because these numbers are insane. So $3.50 for a base, $613 is the most recent sale for a PSA 9, and that was just 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So yeah, double your money on a PSA 9. Crazy. That's how hot this guy is. A PSA 10, $9.50, but one hasn't sold in over a month. So I don't know what the next PSA 10 is going to sell for because it's been about 45 days since the last sale, but a PSA 10, $9.50. But $3.50 and a PSA 9 is $6.15. If you can find this card in raw condition, that's why I put it on there, because it's a great play.
Do you have the gem rate on that?
The gem rate is 43% on the purple.
Okay. That'd probably be a good card.
Not bad. But so it's 43% as a PSA 10. It's also 43% as a PSA 9. So you have 86% chance of a 9 or better, and you're doubling your money on a 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great card to find if you can find it in the wild or raw in that 350 range. I'd like to see it come down a little bit, but if I can find one around 350 at a card show or something, I'm going to smack it and own it and hope for a 9 or better. Well, he was mentioning I've snatched up about 20 of his mega box refractors between $6 and $10. Yeah, those are good plays too. Anything McGonigal and Connor Griffin, those are going to be the two hottest names going into spring for baseball this year. All right, here's another McGonigal. Same exact card. It says Bowman first. This is the refractor to $4.99. This is the one I mentioned that if you get a PSA 9, you're going to lose a little bit of money on. Which is why I'd really like to see this. Now, this doesn't make any sense. His purple was $250. His refractor to $4.99. Most recent sale is $500. That makes no sense to me at all. I would not touch this card for $500. The most recent sale before that was $340, $390, $360, $360. I'm expecting, I want to buy this card in the off season. I want to buy this card in the $325 range. That's my target range for this card. And I don't think anybody should be paying over $350 for this card either. A PSA 9 is $340. So ideally you want to buy this card for around $300. So a PSA 9 breaks you even. I don't know if you're going to be able to, as hot as he is, I don't know if this card's going to drop down to $400 to $300 or not. But the fact that there have been several sales in that $350 range, at $350, you might want to take a shot. However, caution on this. The purple gems at 43%. The refractor only gems at 20%. So I would much rather have a purple than a base refractor. So just caution on that. All right. And now
what's the 10 sell for again? I missed that.
The 10 sells for $815.
Okay. Wow.
20% gem rate, $815. So it does, I mean, you are going to double up on your money, which is nice. But a lot of risk when you're talking about losing 40 or 50 bucks on a PSA 9. Mm-hmm. That's too risky for what I like. I'm more conservative. I like the plays where, a 9 breaks me even or I lose a couple of bucks. I want to get it so that your averages, when you get that 40 or 50% gem rate, that you're making double, triple your money to make it worth your while. All right, the last McGonigal card we're going to talk about here is his Chrome First Base Auto. Last sale, $195. As you can see, that one spiked up again. Prior to that, it was down around that 160 range. For 5-6 of his last 7 sales have been around that 150, 160 range. 30-day average is 177 because this one sale here at 195 spiked it up. PSA 9 is 165. So again, I want to buy this card. I want to buy this card here at around 130, 40 bucks. So I'm looking for it to dip so that a PSA 9 is going to break me even, or I'm okay with losing a couple bucks. I don't want to lose 50 on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is 539. So again, double your money. But again, a 20% gem rate. So if I can get a purple with a 43%, twice the gem rate, and much larger numbers on the 9 and the 10, the purple is the choice for me. But I wanted to give you some options for McGonigal because he is going to be the talk of baseball. Him and Connor Griffin are going to be the talk of baseball as you go into spring. Those 2 guys are going to be 1 and 2 on most top 100 lists going into spring next year. So I wanted you to have some options. All right. Next up this is my favorite player to buy going into next year. JJ Weatherholt. I do not like the Cardinals at all because I am a Brewer fan.
I love the Cardinals, man.
But I like making money, and Weatherholt, I think, is going to be a money-making machine. Let me expand on that and tell you why. So his stuff is already starting to fall. As you can see, the last 30 days, it's down 16%. I think it'll fall another 10 to 15 to 20% in the next 30 days. Right now, a base first auto is $150. There have been 44 sales in the last 30 days, so very easy card to come by because it's this last year's product. Actually, it's just came out. It's the Chrome Prospect. So this card's only been out on the market for
5 months.
Yeah, 5 months. So it hasn't been out very long. And it's already starting to come down, which is great. So 150 is the last sale. The 30-day average is 153. PSA 9 is 167. So I want to target this card around 125. That's my I'm going to be watching this card. I'm going to be watching a lot of auctions, going to be bidding on some auctions to snipe. I want to own this card for 125 or less because I feel at 125 or less, I'm going to break even or make a little bit on a PSA 9. On a PSA 10, it's $345. Now, $345, and it has a 44% gem rate. When you got 44 sales in the last 30 days, so there are a ton to pick from, and you've got almost a 50% gem rate, and you've got a guy that's going to be one of the top 5 players on most top 100 lists going into spring. He's a player. I expect him to break camp with the Cardinals next year. This is a guy I want to get, and I want to have this guy for sale by the end of February into early March to capitalize on all the hype. Then it doesn't matter what he does in spring training. I'd like to be sold out of him by mid-March, but I think this guy's going to make us a lot of money this offseason.
I've been chasing that. I tried to find one of those at the National. I looked for days, and I couldn't find a single one. But that's one of the ones that I'm most interested in. Half of my family's from St. Louis, and we bleed Cardinal red.
Nice. All right. Here's another player I'm very high on. He is not going to make the big league camp next year. He's probably 2 years away yet, but he had made some nice strides this year. He's in a Dodger organization that he gets a lot of hype and a lot of publicity. He's got all the tools that you want, and his cards sell very, very well. It's Jose De Paula. Most recent sale is $100, so it's a really good price range again, $100 or less. $100 last week, 10 sales in the last 30 days. 30-day average is $97. So I like this card. I'm going to target this card under 100. I'm going to hope to buy. I'm going to hope to buy this card. I bought 2 of them last fall that I got for $75 a piece. I'm hoping to get more in that $75 to $100 range. 75 would be an absolute steal. That's really what I've been when I'm targeting my eBay auctions. I've been sniping 75 and missing out, but I'm confident I'll get one here in the next month or so. $81 is the PSA 9. So at $100, if you pay $100, you're looking at losing about $40 on a PSA 9. So that's a big red X. One of the bigger losses you would take of the plays I did. However, a PSA 10 is $275, and it's got a 50% gem rate. I've done 3 of these last year. I got 2 10s and a 9. So if you can buy multiples of this card with a 50% gem rate, and you can go from $100 invested to almost $300 return, almost a 2 to 3xing of your money. That is a great way to grow your funds. I really like him a lot. It's a name you're going to hear more and more of as he starts climbing the top 100 list over the next year and a half. All right. Got a couple plays left here. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my own Brewers, right? Jesus Mate. Is he the next Jackson Chourio? Don't know. People are talking like he might be. The Brewers have moved him up, and every level they move him up to, his stats get better, which is unheard of. Chourio is the last player that did that, and he's been working out great for the Brewers. It would not surprise me if Mate were to get a lot of attention this offseason, and it would not surprise me if he made the leap to the big club by the end of next year, for sure by 2027 if he keeps at this pace. But the Brewers are in the postseason, and they've been doing it this way. They've been getting good young talent, homegrown, getting them up there. When they get to where their contracts have to be renewed, they trade them away for more prospects and start all over again. And they've been sustaining it now for about 10 years. For a small market club, it's been working. I like Made a lot. Again, the cards have been out for about 6-7 months now, so the prices should be coming down. However, with this, you see he's up 8% because he's been getting so much hype. I will not pay this. I'm targeting this card at $150. If it doesn't drop to 150 this year, I'll wait and I'll get it next year at 150. But I wanted to make aware that this is a play and he is available. A PSA 9 is $192. So if you can get it in that $170 range, you can break even on a 9. PSA 10 is $438. So, a doubling of your money on a PSA 10.
I have one of those at PSA right now. I can't wait to see what happens.
Made Auto?
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I don't have one yet.
I think I paid $190 for it, but I just wanted it real bad. It looks super clean on at least the copy that, but we'll see.
All right. Colt Emerson, another player prospect that I think you could see make the leap at some point in time next year to the bigs. This is his Aqua Lava Refractor to 199. It's the Bowman Draft from 2023. 2023 Bowman Draft is an absolutely loaded product. I've never made more money than I made on ripping 2023 Bowman Draft wax. It's so many prospects in there that were good. It's hard to lose money on a Bowman Draft hobby box or a jumbo box of 2023. So many prospects. Colt Emerson is one I really like. So Aqua Lava to 199. My last sale is 158. There have been 2 sales in the last 30 days. 180 is the 30-day average. So again, down 20% in the last 30 days. That's the trend we like to see this time of year. PSA 9 was $200. So a break even about on a PSA 9. PSA 10 is 400, so you're going to double your money. It does have a 36% gem rate. So that is good as well. All right, that is all the plays I have. So let me take a look at my notes and see which one did I.
You ought to put it in the Discord because there's a.
Yeah, I'll put them. I'll when I get time, I'll try and put these
plays of the month and maybe put the missing one in there.
Oh, it's my favorite play that I've made over and over and over again. That's the play that got deleted, guys. So all you got to do is go back and look at a previous episode because I think I've given this play now 4 times in 2025, and the play just doesn't get old. It just continues to make money every single time. It just without fail. I don't have it up, but you know what I can do? I can pull it up real quick here. I'm going to go to Market Movers. I'm going to go, here we go, share screen, Market Movers. We're going to go up here and we're going to type in 258 Edwards Purple Wave. All right, here's the card, guys. It is 2020 Prism card number 258, Anthony Edwards Purple Wave. As you can see here, $65 is the most recent sale. That's down 19%, which is awesome. Anything Anthony Edwards that's down, I'm in on. I'm huge on Anthony Edwards this year for the season. I'm putting a lot of money in Anthony Edwards. He better not get hurt. 6 sales in the last 30 days, $82 average. This sale right here at $100 was me. So I'm actually the highest sale in the last 30 days. However, I got that card in hand. I'd have paid $150 for it. It looks flawless. It's off to PSA, and I am hoping for a 10. Pull up the 9. As you can see, the 9 also down 14%. PSA 9's $171. So you can see why this is such a great play. When you are talking about $65 to even $100 like I paid for a PSA or for a raw card, when a PSA 9's $171. So I'm going to have $125 invested in the one I got, and I can make $50 on a PSA 9. Thank you very much. This is why I really like it. There have been no sales since July on this card, but the one that was on July 20th was my sale from the one I did earlier this year, $900. So I bought this card back in May, early May. I bought the card for $88, sent it in a bulk play. They upcharged me because it got a 10. So I ended up having to pay $59 for the order. I got it back and put it up online and sold it on the 20th, as you can see, for $900. I had about $130 in that card, and I got a $900 rate of return. So I absolutely love this play. I made this play twice last year. I made $50 on a 9, and I made $750 on a 10. This play, for whatever reason, just keeps staying. I mentioned this play, I think, last October for this exact card, the Purple Wave. I don't know why the Purple Wave has such a huge disparity between them all. It's only got a 20% gem rate, okay? But I'm 1 for 2, so maybe my next 3 are all going to be 9s to average it out, and then I'll be mad. But I'm 1 for 2 right now, and I've got one heading into PSA in my order today that I just paid $100 back on the 19th of September. So absolutely love the Purple Wave. Anthony Edwards, a lot of Anthony Edwards, the orange, the blue, the green, his silver prism. Anthony Edwards prism rookie cards are all good plays, but this one has the best rate of return that I've had. It's year to date, it's my best play I've made, picking up $750 on a $150 investment. Actually $130 investment. So I keep making that play over and over and over again.
Nice.
All right. Reminder, guys, if you are interested, we still have some spots left in our Cardboard Rockstars Fantasy Basketball League that we've decided to do. So if you want and you're interested, hit me up, send me a message on Instant Messenger or a message through here. You can send me a message on Instagram. Wherever you can get a hold of me, let me know if you want to participate. It's going to be a fun league. I don't know as though any of us have played fantasy basketball recently, so it's going to be new to everybody. I don't know if we're going to do free league or if we're going to do 10 or $20, just winner take all. Once we get the league full, we'll take a vote and see whatever decides. But if you want to be interested or involved in fantasy basketball, hit me up and let me know. Otherwise, that's all I've got. You got anything else, Bo?
Not really. Maybe next show I can talk about my 23 PSA magazines that I sent off. They're in the quality check right now. Okay. So I'm hoping I heard that these boxes are like 80 pounds because the things are so heavy, but maybe next show I can do a show and tell on what I got.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. As always, hit us up with anything that you need, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Have a good one, folks.
Have a good one. We'll play a little outro here as we go.
Took up my bass guitar for this.
What's that?
You got a bass guitar and an amp to learn the